I made a video about the Cadillac XTS not too long ago, and while it has great interior space, great interior materials, and actually is a very good-looking full-size car, the only major downside was the Cadillac Q system, which I think should have been redesigned better. Take a look back and you'll see that Cadillac has come a long way. The 2000 STS has been replaced, obviously, by the newer STS before it was replaced by the XTS. I like both the STS and the XTS.
While the technology in the STS is obviously old at this point, the simple fact of the matter is all of these systems are easy for older people to use, and that's Cadillac's demographic. Volume knob, seat knob. They have, what I did like, they have a tilt for this, what is it called? Navigation screen. Very simple to use. A touch screen in addition to system redundancy buttons. In a lot of ways, this is actually a smarter design system than you find in the Mercedes, because the Mercedes only has a command knob. And the command knob be easy to use, but when you're pressed to think about entering navigation coordinates, you really just want to reach up and hit the touch buttons. Most of the buttons are easy to use except for these over here. Most of this stuff isn't labeled very well. Like, for instance, looking at this, you have no idea what you're looking at. Everything's a goddamn symbol, and if you want to do something as simple as learning what your odometer says, or if you want to do something as simple as switching on or off the lights, nothing over here is very intuitive at all. So, my bottom line has always been user interface, which is another reason why I feel that iOS is the best mobile operating system that there is. You know, Samsung has a decent interface, but I really prefer it on tablets like the Asus Transformer I bought my girlfriend. When it comes to ease of use, iOS is what I prefer, and iOS is what I buy. And at the end of the day, it's the free market that determines what does well and what doesn't. Make your vehicles easier to use, Cadillac. Don't put all that convoluted shit into your car where it's hard to figure out how to use it. If you make your vehicles easier to use, what you'll notice is your sales will increase, because the Q system would send me straight over to Mercedes-Benz simply because it's so difficult and annoying to learn to use. This car has a 3.6-liter GM V6, and it also has a all-wheel drive system. Now, the Cadillac STS is a product of GM chasing German specs. It has a stiff suspension, and it has an all-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive platform, which was actually a very good idea, because that allowed them to basically tout how much better it could drive than, you know, typical Cadillacs back in the day. Now, mind you, this is a 2010 model, which was replaced by the Cadillac XTS. And while the XTS is a much nicer car, I'd have to say that the STS wins in certain respects. Unfortunately, the XTS is not only nicer, but it's also bigger. And when it comes to actual leg space, you know, when you're doing, this is just not a lot of space right here. And, you know, shorter people will be okay in it, but, you know, full-sized adults, they can forget it. Not in this car.